Hey everyone. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Yeah, funky intro music would be good. Let's see if we can get this working. What's going on here? Oh, fun. What's the deal? Okay, let's go try this again. Hey everyone, trying to get some technical difficulties sorted out, obviously. Activate, there we go. Okay. Hey everyone, what's going on? Fun to see y'all. I'm Sam, creative director for Rokoko, and looks like we have a couple people in the chat. This is gonna be fun. This is kind of just our, we're trying to do these weekly so that we can answer questions and just kind of have a live presence that, there's a human that you guys can talk to, and we'll try and do some useful, interesting stuff as well. Can you guys hear me okay? I guess that's number one. It's a little echoey in this garage, but that's what we got. Hey! Hi. Red Ninja, yes, it is possible. Absolutely. You can record just the face. Yeah, it puts a little avatar body on there because it needs a body, but you don't have to have a suit. You can just do the face. Yeah, audio's great. Sweet. Okay. Yeah. Apologize. Hello, everyone. Conjuring. Oh, sweet. I'm happy that the sample animations have been working out for you, virtual filmer. And then, right, what did I just see? Somebody's. Oh, right, the thumb sensor. Yeah, that's a good solution. You might have to. I mean, it's a bummer that that's happening. Big hands is tough, but. Sewing it back up sometimes people have to use I've even seen a rubber band. I've used that. That's usually when your hands are too small though. But always reach out to sales or customer support at Rokoko.com or customer success at Rokoko.com. You can find the emails on our website and maybe they can help you out or have a solution or I don't know, fix it somehow. So I have no guarantee there, but I would reach out to them because they're always checking those. The webcam is way overkill. I'm using my Blackmagic camera, which I use for shoots, but now I have it set up as my webcam because I'm not at home for the 2 months right now. And yeah, virtual filmer, rubber bands. I mean, you can get the little ones too, or you can double up a bigger one, but that's obviously a pretty janky solution. Reach out to support. They might have a solution. Yeah. Virtual filmer. Cool. So yeah, for this stream, I thought we'd do some motion library stuff and kind of take a look at some different software. But you guys want to talk about other stuff. We want to dip into the new Unreal workflow, which we just released a video for that this morning, which is, if you're working in Unreal, and you're using our old workflow, don't use that. Use the new one because it's way better. I'm going to change my camera FOV a little bit here. There we go. Yeah, but, I'm going to kind of run through these retargeting workflows and, ask questions and we can chat about other things or whatever. Yes. We owe Ollie so much. For sure. That solution was clearly a lot of work. I watched some of his Twitch streams when he was making it, and it's key. It's something that I wish that we had come up with a lot earlier, but it's just probably due to my, I came up in Cinema 4D. That's where I'm from, so I know Unreal now more, but there's always more to learn, and I had not thought about doing it that way, and that is a far better way, obviously, than the way we were doing it. So, that's the cool thing. It's I don't know. I always think it's good to just there was a better solution out there. So I'm just happy that he shared it. So yeah, Matt Workman is killing it. I was watching his stream the other day, and he was like coming up with some crazy stuff. He's a Unreal developer. I mean, essentially at this point, he was a cinematographer, but now he's like a developer, and he's building a bunch of metahuman tools that are bananas, and I can't follow what he's doing, but they're amazing. And so yeah, okay, so yeah, we're gonna do retargeting, and if there's anything else that you guys want to talk about, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna kind of cruise through it, and yeah, should be good. And also, that's Bocce in the background. I don't know if you can see her. I just ran her around a ton because I didn't want her barking, but she's being a little piglet right now and is being a cutie. Okay, so I was planning to talk about the motion library. So for people who don't know, future people, because it sounds like everyone in the stream, yeah, she is a cutie. Let me make this a little bit smaller too, right? I heard from our team that actually the comments are like in the left on mobile, so I'm going to put myself over here. So Neurolight, the Ollie solution was we had a workflow for the metahumans that was good, but work intensive. And this guy, Ollie Balboa, I think Portuguese guy, I'm not sure, maybe Brazilian, I'm not sure. I think Portuguese, I don't know. Sorry, Ollie, if you're watching, and I have no idea. He's like a tattoo artist too or something. Anyway, he posted an amazing workflow that is much better than what we were doing. And I'm proud of the fact that we have enough humility to just say, hey, that is way better than our method. So let's do that. And it's a control rig. It's a T-pose solution. The problem with Unreal is that if you rely on T-poses like our mocap does, it gets tricky because you need the character to be in a T-pose, and the metahumans are all in A poses, and all the Unreal stuff is always in an A pose. So yeah, it just is a great workflow. We just released a tutorial for it, Neuro, if you want to go check it out. It's awesome. And it's the difference of, 15 minutes of pretty mind-meltingly boring bone transformations that we used to have to do to like 3 minutes of just setting it up. It's super quick now. You can get your metahuman connected to the Rokoko system really quickly. So it's awesome. Yeah, it was A pose arms down glitch is the problem with Unreal. I mean, it's not a problem if you're only working in Unreal, but it's a problem if you're working with Rokoko or anything else that needs a T pose. But yeah, anyway, so motion library. We don't talk about the motion library that much, but again, if you don't know what it is we have a motion capture store that we maintain, and we have a bunch of like AAA developers who don't use Rokoko mocap. A lot of them use either XNs or they use volume capture, and the idea was it didn't matter what they were using, it just mattered that it was like high quality assets is the idea. So you can buy assets, and they're from some great, like Filmstorm is this awesome team, I think in the UK, although I'm not sure. They make tons of mocap, tons of different mocap, genres of stuff, and they have a great like multi-gender team, which is great, of stunt people. I think that's Filmstorm. But anyway, it's a bunch of AAA, level kind of mocap producers who aren't only using Rokoko. They're using lots of different things. So we have this store, and you can find it in our Rokoko studio. UK represent, yeah. And you can also find it, we have a plugin in Maya, so it's baked into the Maya release now. If you download Maya, there's a plugin that comes with it that you can access the mocap store, which is awesome because then you can get your mocap like directly into Maya. So we're going to use that when we get to Maya, but for everything else, you need to use Rokoko Studio. And so when you open up Rokoko Studio, it like looks like this. Rokoko Studio is, our free software that we use to do all of our mocap hardware connects to record your mocap. But up here, there's this ML kind of sitting up here, being very, we should make this like a bigger logo because I feel like people don't know about it enough. But if you click on it, here's the store. And so you can buy assets, but then the other thing is there's like a ton of free demo assets. And if you're anything like me, who was a big Cinema 4D person making stuff, I was, everyone just uses Mixamo, right? We all just use Mixamo. At this point, I feel like I can recognize the dances that are like coming out of Mixamo, which can be, it's a little bit of a bummer because you don't want to be using original stuff and have, to make your, when I'm making my Instagram videos, I want like an original dance or whatever it is. That people haven't seen before. And so you can find them on here. So that's great. And there's a bunch of free ones that you can download for free and test out the system if you want. And so that's kind of what we're going to be playing with. We're just going to be looking at some of the free options. So when you open up the motion library, virtual filmer, we're going to be adding hand mocaps in here, and I also want to add some facial mocap solutions or assets. So that's all going to be coming. We have a kind of a big refresh of the software side of the programs coming later this year in Studio 2.0. And I don't know if there's going to be a monthly membership, but I hope so. That's kind of one of the, I think that would be great instead of buying them individually, but right now you can buy them individually. But yeah, so let's look at some of the free ones. So if you just open up the motion library, you can sort them by like category, or there's even subcategories, right? Male, female, looping, and then price, which is what I always sort it by because I always just want to see the free stuff. And if you sort it by price, it just brings up all the, $0 ones, and these are kind of the demo ones. And in theory, we'll be swapping these out for other demo things in the future, but for right now, this is kind of what is available. So here's a couple of them, and you can like scroll around and look at them. This is a running backwards loop. You could throw into Houdini or something, I guess. But one of my favorite publishers is Moro Motion. I love Moro Motion. I actually bought a bunch of Moro Motion assets at one point before I even worked at Rokoko because they are awesome. I don't know what their deal is exactly, but the quality of the mocap I just think is really great and unique, and like this dancer is incredible. And I've seen a couple of them on like John Norlander's stuff and stuff, and so people, I've seen the Moro Motion stuff around because it's really great. I love these dance assets in particular. There's a lot of Moro Motion like yoga poses as well, which is interesting. And then like emotes. Let's go check it out. So you can also go like cruise by publisher. If you click on publisher, we can go down to Moro Motion. And here's the like Moro Motion page. And so yeah, here's like cheering. This is another free one. Price 0. Whee! Usable in like a million ways, obviously. Just like really emotive and really great mocap. I love. Finger Taunt is another free one. Yeah, virtual filmer, Moro Motion. Yeah, it's so good. Look at this finger taunting. This is, ooh, it's good. I'm feeling it. But so for this one, for this little stream, I thought we would pick out some of the dances. And if we sort, you can sort this by price as well. Excuse me. And I think we're going to use this mid-rhythm dance as the free dance. So if I double click it, you can kind of see what the deal is. And you can zoom out and rotate around it and everything. Yeah, virtual. I don't know how there's some weird leg stuff sometimes, but in general it's just so good. It's just also like clearly a very professional dancer did all of these, which matters. I don't know. Sometimes you can forget that like I try and do dances, then I'm like, oh right, I'm not a professional dancer, and it shows in my mocap. So sometimes you just want to buy an asset or find an asset like this because they're actually like a good dancer. No, it wasn't me. But yeah, so we have this dance, and if I want to import it and get it out to like Cinema 4D or Blender or Unity or Unreal, I guess, you would just kind of, because these are free, you don't have to like buy them. I don't think you have to put them in a cart or anything. And so you can just go import, and it will ask you which studio project you want to throw it into. And so I'm going to throw it into I've made a motion library project, so I'll just throw it into there. And I actually already imported it. So if we go to my projects, motion library, here are some dances that I downloaded, and I can't preview them in here, but this is like kind of where they reside in Studio. And you don't have to do the cart, right, if it's free. But yeah, here's where they reside in Studio, and then from here you can just go, right click on them and export them. And I guess you can choose all of the options still, which I didn't actually know that you could do. I thought it just kind of downloaded it. I think it downloads it automatically, but maybe you can also, let's try and do this. I didn't even know you could do this. Let's try and export this and see what happens. Yeah, no, so you can't export them, right? They just download when you select them and bring them into a project. So they'll just bring it into your documents folder or wherever they are. So now they're here. So that's it. That's how you get the mocap from the motion library. And that's it, which is great because it's super easy, and it's even better in Maya because it'll bring it directly into your project. And we'll do that in a little bit. But first off, I thought that we would just kind of check out Cinema 4D. Yeah, it goes into the downloads folder. Does it do that too? Let's check the downloads folder. Oh, messy folder. I don't know. It doesn't see. I don't know. Maybe it's on default. It goes to the downloads folder. Maybe I like set this at some point. But anyway, that's how you get your mocap for the motion library. So at this point, we have some mocap. It's like we recorded mocap in Studio with a Smart Suit, and it's the same kind of deal. So now we can get to, that's Maya, virtual filmmaker, a filmer. Okay, yeah, I think that is Maya. But yeah, let's open up Cinema 4D at this point and try and do some retargeting. And so this is, I'm going to be in R23, not R24, just because I haven't set up R24 to my liking yet. With all my plugins, and I haven't done the merge yet, which is always a mess. So we're going to be using R23. And the first thing I'm just going to do is go and grab the mocap. So I have this little button here, which is my merge objects button, which is basically just import. So I'll click that, and I can go grab the mid-rhythm dance and hit OK, bring it in. So here we go. And the cool thing is that it put it in a T-pose when it came out of Rokoko Studio. Which is very convenient because you need things to be in a T-pose when you're working with a lot of stuff. It's not just Rokoko. It's like T-pose is the standard outside of Unreal, which is very frustrating because, of course, we're all in Unreal a lot more now because it's getting awesome. It already was, but it's getting even better all the time. And but it comes out in a T-pose, which is useful for most times. Let me make sure I'm not blocking anything with my little screen here. I'm going to shrink myself down. I should get like a green screen or something. Anyway, yeah, so here's our mocap, and I'll hit play, and we can let it play out. It's a joint chain, basic. Same thing you're going to get from Mixamo, although with Mixamo there's going to be a character on it. But in this case, it's just a joint chain, and it makes it, virtual filmer, Y up in everything except for Unreal. Blender is a little funny that way too sometimes, I find, but in general, That kills me in Unreal. Yeah, that the Y is not up. I think it's Z up in Unreal. But anyway, here's our mocap. So let's throw it on a little character. And in this case, I'm going to use this robot character that I got from CG Trader. And this process can be a little bit... honestly, the best retargeting in CG, in my opinion, is in Maya. That is the place to be. If you are working with... I mean, Maya's expensive is the problem, but if you have like access to an educational license or something, then Maya really makes sense. They also have a trial, which actually in this computer, because I just moved, this is a trial, but Maya is the best retargeting workflow, bar none, in my opinion. It just somehow everything works a little bit better, seemingly, and so if you have access to Maya, I always try to do my retargeting like for bigger projects in Maya, even if I'm going to be working. No way. It's $300 a year now for Maya? That's crazy. That's a good deal. Maya's amazing. As horrible as it is, it's amazing. So use Maya, basically. But if you're not going to use Maya, and you're going to use just Cinema 4D, this is kind of the workflow that I would use. And I'm going to replace these textures. You can go to Window Project Asset Manager, and it shows you it didn't bring in any of these textures. So I'll just right-click them all, relink, go find my model folder, hit OK, boom, boom, boom. Let's see what happens. Yay! Okay, here we go. So we got our mocap and we got our model, right? Both in T poses. Ideal. That's what we want. I'm actually going to get rid of this gun, and I'm going to get rid of this hips translation bone, which is super odd. I try to just, I'm gonna get rid of this weapon joint, and then I'm just gonna pull out my character skeleton from this hips translation bone. I mean, all models are different, and generally I like to just have the hips be the base, like, starting point of my skeleton. Otherwise, it can get confusing and stuff, and it's already confusing enough, obviously. So when I'm doing retargeting in Cinema 4D, I use the character rigging tag. I'm gonna go grab it under right-click on my hips, go to rigging tags, and go to character definition. So it's the character definition tag. Dong, hey, you made it, sweet. First on that video earlier, well done, paying attention. But anyway, yeah, so I've applied this character definition tag, and I'm going to open up the manager here, and it's going to open on another screen, so I'll drag it over. But now we can just hit extract skeleton. I actually think with this model, it's not going to do it all the way. Oh, it did. Huh. Okay. If it didn't automatically extract all the skeleton, and what this is doing is it's building a bone list. Like all of retargeting for mocap, it works by you telling the program which bones are which in your character and which bones are which in your mocap, and then you tell the program, hey, okay, you know where the hips are on the mocap and the character, make them talk to each other, but you need to do that like manually, or hopefully it works kind of automatically if you like hit extract skeleton in a tool, which for some models it doesn't extract it automatically, and then you have to like manually, if it didn't bring in the hips, I would have to drag the hips in here to this character definition. But this one worked manually, so it's great. So this guy is done. I usually hit set reference pose just so it makes sure that it knows that this T-pose is like our starting pose. We always want to start from T-pose. I'm also on frame 0, which is always good. So that's our character. Our character skeleton has been defined. Now we are going to define our mocap skeleton. So I'm going to do the same thing, click the skeleton, hips, add a character definition tag, and then open manager, pull it over, hit extract skeleton, and it did it automatically too. So that's great. I actually thought this one didn't do it automatically and I was going to do it manually, but I guess it did it automatically, so that's a good thing. But again, if you have to do this manually, like you just drag in the hips one by one, which is a little frustrating, but you can also save presets. So if you're using the same character over and over, or the same type of mocap, like you don't have to do it a million times, which is nice. So I'm gonna hit set reference pose on this one as well. This is my characters, my robots. No, this is my mocap's character definition tag. And then I can go to my character, my robot's character definition tag, and I can create a solver. And it gives me this little tag right here. And there's a blank field for source character. And so I can drag in the mocap. And again, this only works if they're both already in T-poses. But after doing that, I can hit play. Look at that. There we go. It's retargeted, which is, that was very easy. It's sometimes not this easy. And obviously because they are different proportions, you know, you might get some funny foot stuff, but usually I just frame that out if I have to, and that's the cheap way to get around that. Or you can get into editing, which if anyone's interested in seeing, I don't think we really have a Cinema 4D crowd here right now, but we have tutorials about it. The other thing that I like to do though when I'm doing this is, because this is just referencing the mocap, like my character's bones are not keyframed. So this won't work outside of Cinema 4D. If I export this to Unreal, I want to render this robot in Unreal or in Unity or something. If I export it, it's not going to come across with the motion. So I need to bake this skeleton with this motion. So the way I do that is I basically pick the entire skeleton's joints, and you can do that by selecting the hips or the main branch of your skeleton, right-clicking it. You go to select children, it'll select everything underneath that branch. And then if you go to window and you bring up the dope sheet, while you have your bone selected, you can go to functions, bake objects, uncheck create copy, because I just want to bake to these bones, and then I can just hit OK. This will think for a second. AM Studios, hello, yeah. So happy, it's gonna be fun. Can't wait for you to get your suit either. What program are you in? And there we go. Yeah, so the character is all baked. Now I can like delete my mocap, delete all this other garbage. What is this? IK constraint. Oh no, can't delete that, I guess. Okay, can't delete that, but there we go. Hide my, I can delete these tags, hide my skeleton, and there we go. Look, we have a little dancing robot. Richard, it's not, again, it depends on the software. Like in Maya, everything is way easier, in my opinion. Smaller characters, bigger characters, like something about Maya, I think just because it's been around for so long, it works like really well. With Cinema, it depends. It's as easy as doing this, but you will get more foot drifting and stuff. Maybe you want to resize your character to the mocap before you do it, and that might help. I could have probably done that with this robot, and there'd be less foot drifting. But yeah, that's kind of the vibe. So actually, I was playing around with this earlier, and I'm just gonna build a little. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna build a little scene that we'll put up on the Instagram or something later. Robot dancer Moro. Always save children. Oh yeah, Dong, we'll get into Maya next. Although for Blender people, if you are a Blender person who've used our retargeting solution before, I actually earlier this morning found out like a crazy fix to a problem that has been bugging me for years at this point, having to do with rest poses. So we'll go through that too. I'm actually so excited that I found the solution about that. So that'll be really good. I'm gonna have to do a tutorial about it and update our current tutorial because it fixes a massive problem in Blender. So we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll do Maya next. But anyway, yeah, so I got my little character. I'm just gonna open up Octane because why not? Let's have a little fun. Virtual Filmer. It is my first love. I'm sorry, Maya. I love you now, Maya, but Cinema will always have my heart. Cinema and Octane, little fanboy. I mean, look at this. How easy is this? Ooh, it's so nice looking. But I was thinking, like, for this robot guy, you know, this is kind of what I do for, like, my little social posts. Throw it on a plane, make an Octane glossy material, throw it on that plane, make it black, nice and reflective, right? HDRI environment, black everything out. Area light, turn this bad boy around, 180. Let's give this a little silhouette for our little robot dancer here. And, you know, that's looking kind of cool. Select my light, turn off the visibility. That's really harsh, but let's leave it for now. And then I can add a little fog volume. Boom. Bring this light down. And then, like, make it a disc. Woo! And then this is the real killer right here. Let's make it red. Always looks cooler. And now we have, like, a hilarious robot doing a semi-sensual dance. And again, this is like a free mocap asset. And it, like, looks different from everything that you're gonna see on like this. Kind of just funny with a robot, I think. I really like this pose. Boom, like that. Oh my gosh, that's some power. That's some, like, Patrick Swayze power right there. What is their question? Animations taken. Yeah, those animations from Rokoko Studio, you can use, like, they're copyright free. You can use them for anything. You can use them for whatever. They're totally, there's no restrictions on those. They're all just me. At some point, you know, I'm going to just make a giant pack for our community, or for anyone, really, which has been on the table for a long time. Maybe I'll get to that this summer. But yeah, anyway, here's, you know, a little quick Cinema 4D animation. So I'm going to render this out later so we don't get bogged down right now. But this amuses me to no end and was really easy to do. So yeah. And yeah, I saw something about the Mixamo. Well, who's talking about the Mixamo solution? That I wanted, Renix. Hey, Renix. Yeah, the Mixamo control rig. I know. Wouldn't that be nice? You know, it's like, it would be great if I could. And then it, like, works with the IK and all that. I'll figure it out at some point and release a tutorial. But, yeah. And then, Sam, as a human, is public domain. Yes, I am public domain. No, you won't get told off for any, yeah, I don't know what that means, but yeah. ESD, happy, Cinema 4D in the house. Yes. I mean, they're all great, but Cinema 4D, it's amazing. Okay, so this is great. Let's save it. I'm going to render this later. Let's take a quick look at what this looks like at path tracing, though. And then I always bump the GI clamp, David RU style, or his tutorials are amazing. I'm sure if anyone's a Cinema 4D person here knows that. And yeah, so this is done. Boom, boom, boom. Easy. One asset done. Okay, save. Let's get out of here. Okay, cool. Let's go C4D, Tom Coben. Maya. Okay, let's get to Maya. So Maya is terrifying. For anyone who did not come up in Maya, anyone who's not an animator, I mean, Maya's probably the oldest. Maybe Autodesk, I guess, is older than Maya at this point. Technically, Houdini is really old, too, because it used to be part of Side Effects. So they were developing Houdini at the same time as Maya, and the company split, and that's where Side Effects comes from, up in Vancouver, which I always thought was really interesting, because they went in very different ways. But Maya is terrifying. It was terrifying to me, and it's the hardest to use. Yeah, soft image. I mean, Jesus, that's like, I don't even know where to start with soft image. I've never even opened that up. That is like a render man. Is that Is that a software? Is that a render engine? Anyway, Maya, the interface, everything about it, the buttons, the gray, it's very intimidating. But I will say, once I learned Maya, and Dong, this is for you, I mean, it's incredible. It's really amazing. It's just, especially for animation, it is the best, I think, bar none. It just is. There's nothing better than Maya. I don't know why exactly. I think they're tools. They own Motion Builder as well, which is like mocap specific software. And so if you have access to Maya and you are too intimidated to use it, I would check out some of our tutorials, check out tutorials online. It's hard to find tutorials too because it's a very high level software sometimes, I find, but especially for mocap animation, it is bar none the best way to do it, in my opinion. It just is. So let's go through kind of doing retargeting in Maya. So I'm going to go and grab that robot, and if I go to import, I gotta go find it. Foxtrot. I name all my hard drives after dances. Creative assets, models. Excuse my nose. ETH85 is who we're using, and I'm gonna go grab that base mesh FBX. This is an FBX, right? Boom, imported. Look at this. And so Maya also, I don't know why, but it always tends to, especially when working with characters, it'll make it really giant. Yeah, I don't know why. But usually this is like the right scale. If it's really giant, and the ground plane here is right here, I kind of know that it's going to look right. Scale is set to 1 on all these. I don't know why it's so big. It just is. Maybe Dong has an answer. Yeah, Maya Human IK is like the best. It's just, Maya is amazing. I can't say enough good things about Maya despite its horrible interface. Clearly, the gray on gray, and like it's so, what are all these buttons? I have no idea. And then like, how do you, when I hit space and it gives me all these things, and Maya is so scary. But anyway, if I hit 5, it should do shading. Okay, they're not linked, the textures aren't linked up, so, oh no, 6? No, textures aren't linked up, so it doesn't matter. So this character came in a T-pose, and actually, this character, its rest pose is an A pose. It doesn't matter for Maya or Cinema 4D. It will matter for Blender, which is what that solution I was talking about earlier fixed. But for Maya, all that matters is that your character is posed this way. And the rest pose versus current pose, I guess it is very confusing. Rest pose is basically like if we were to go into an editing, it's like the pose that is baked into the mesh is the rest pose. In this case, the rest pose is not a T pose. It is following the bones, and it has been moved into a T pose. But if we were to when we take this into Blender, you'll see when we show the rest pose, it is not this pose. Again, it doesn't matter for Maya. All that matters is Maya is that you pull in your character and you make it into a T pose. You always want to be in a T pose when working with Rokoko mocap. So I'm going to get rid of this gun. Although I could put on the hand. No, we're just going to get rid of it. Where's my outliner? Here's my outliner. I'm going to get rid of these weapon bones. We just don't need it. And I'm going to move these hips out of this chain. Again, I don't like this hip translation. I don't know what this is, but I don't need it. I'm going to get rid of that. Now we just have our hips, and we got our character. So, right, and I can test it if I grab the leg. Ooh, it's all working, right? So this character is ready to go. So the way that you do retargeting in Maya is using the, what is it called again? It's called the, I forget what this, Human IK. It's just the Human IK context, I guess. It's like the retargeting context. Yeah, but it's up here. If you click this, this is kind of the panel that we want to get to. And what we're going to do is we're going to create 2 character definitions. And again, that's like what I was talking about earlier. Whenever you're doing retargeting, whatever program, you always need these bone lists to tell the program, these are the hips of my character, these are the hips of my mocap, make them talk to each other. The program doesn't know which bones are which without you defining it for the character. So again, in Cinema, it'll try to do it automatically. In Maya, it will not. I don't think there's any way to automatically read it. So we're going to define it manually, which I got quite fast at doing, and I'll try not to do it super fast. But first thing we're going to do is create a character definition. And when we do that, you see this handy little, human right here. So this is built for bipedal humanoids, obviously. And what we need to do is just assign all of these different bones to the bones in our character. So I'm going to, if you hit shift, you can expand out, all the bones here, or you can expand out like a toggle tree. And I'm sorry, I think there's someone mowing their lawn in the background. So sorry if that's loud, but anyway, yeah. Here's our skeleton, and we're going to go through and like manually assign this to our definition here. You can say here it says definition, right? And I can also rename this character. I'm going to rename it ETH85. Its name. Okay, so the way you do this is basically you select a bone, and then in the character definition zone, you right-click on that bone. In this case, it's the hips, right? So we're going to right-click on the hips, assign selected bone, and the hips are done. And then what you can do is I just use the Ethereum. Yeah, God, yeah, maybe it is. Everything's Ethereum these days. But yeah, to navigate the skeleton, what's nice is I just use the arrow keys. And as long as it doesn't jump like to the legs or something, I can keep going down, and I don't have to like use my mouse to go back and forth. So again, I was on the hips. I go down on the character key, right-click my spine, assign selected bone. Down on the character on the directional key, and then you can see it. There's a bunch of more spine bones I can get into if I click this little arrow. Right-click, assign. Down, right-click, assign. Boom. Go back up. Now we're going to do the neck. Neck is hidden in this neck view, so I'm going to go and click neck. And like this is part of why Maya is so great, right? As opposed to a bunch of the other programs, like this is built for different types of skeletons, like different, just lots of different things. You can add like twist bones and stuff. It's just a more advanced rigging and retargeting system, which is why Maya is so great for this sort of thing. Like look at all these neck bones. If this is a dinosaur, I could put in every single neck bone, which I could not do like in some of the other programs. You're limited by the slots that are available. So it's just really great. Grab the head bone, assign it. Now we're going to do the left arm. So I'm going to grab the left shoulder, and I go into the left shoulder view, right click, assign. This gets a little tedious, as you can see. But what's cool is actually when you have this mirror mode on, it's going to do the right side as I do the left side. So you can see it already filled out that right, even though I didn't fill it out, which is like amazing. Okay. Yeah, let's see how fast I can do these. Okay, left arm. So left arm, assign, down. Forearm, assign. Hand, assign. Left thumb, boom, down. Left thumb 2, boom. Left thumb 3, boom. Index, boom, boom, boom. So you can do this like pretty quickly if you have done it far too many times, which I have. Because it's really intimidating at first, and then you're like, oh, it's just right clicking on stuff, and look, it's done the right arm. So that's all the arms. Boom, done. Yeah, virtual filmer, and you're a Maya person, right? I think you said, is that right? Or were you a C4 or an Unreal person? Anyway, left leg, boom, up, assign, down, assign, foot, assign. Boom. Did the right side too. That's it. Defined. Awesome. Yeah, and you can save these bone lists, which I'm going to do. Right. So I've done all this work Maybe it took me a really long time, you know, which is really annoying. Maybe this skeleton is relatively straightforward. A lot of them aren't. They're like hidden within menus. And so I could save this, which I'm going to do. I'm going to call it ETH85. I'll need to put it on the hips whenever I bring in that character again. But now this is a preset, and if we want to get really... No, I'm not going to do it, but we could like bring it back in and just use the preset, and it would be done. Anyway, so that is our character done, right? So what if we want the mocap? Let's go grab the mocap. I'm going to go import, and I'm going to go to my documents, which is where my Smart Suit Studio projects are. Motion library project, motion library. I'm going to grab this same dance, mid-rhythm dance, import it. Ooh, interesting. I'm going to unlock all. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Hit play. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Oh, interesting. So it... I'm going to undo, and maybe we will kind of redo this. Because I think sometimes with Maya, when you pull stuff in and you have other things selected, it like automatically will apply it to that, which we clearly did not want to do. I don't know what it did. So to fix that, we're just going to restart this, and because I saved a preset, I'm going to go to import, re-import my model. Maybe I'll import my mocap first this time. No, documents, Smart Suit, motion library, mid-rhythm dance. Oh, there it is. Right, this is correct. It's playing super fast. Oh, golly. Okay, we got to... It's playing like really fast. So if we go to Windows, Preferences, Timeline, I think, Time Slider. We want not to play every frame. We want to play it at 30 FPS. So I'll save that. Now it plays it at the right speed. There we go. Okay, that's our mocap. Now let's bring in our robot and see what happens. Yeah, sometimes it, you know, the other thing with Maya is like, you run into problems like this, like project breaking problems. It's a give and take with Maya, I find, but it's definitely worth it. It's going to retarget this way better than Cinema did. Okay, yeah. I think there's actually, I don't want to override. There's something in here that maybe, it's like when you pull it in, I don't want to merge. Let's just try this. So weird. What is it doing? We got rid of the head for some reason. Well, don't know what this is, but you know what? Fortunately for us, I actually have already rigged this and saved a copy, so I'm just going to do it that way. Let's go find it. Creative assets, models, ETH, up, base mesh. Okay, so here's like my already pre-rigged and set up guy. Oh, right, and we were gonna, no, right, okay, we were gonna pull this in from the motion library that is that's built into Maya. That's right, okay. So let's do that. Right, so anyway, this guy is defined. Let's go, if you go to Windows, Animation Editors, Motion Library, right, this is where you can go, and it's built into Maya, the motion library. So I'm gonna sign in. Nobody look at my keyboard if you can see it. Sign in. Incorrect password. Let me put this off screen for a second. My keyboard, so this is a new keyboard, and it doesn't click all the numbers, which is very frustrating. Okay, there we go. So here's the motion library, but it's in Maya. So this is awesome because we can pull in these animations directly into Maya, which makes things super easy. So if we go to publishers again, go find Moro Motion. Yeah, I don't know where the head went on that. It was really weird. But go to Moro Motion, like search by price again. Here's the mid-rhythm dance, right? Just click download. It'll download it. So now it's in our downloads folder. Yeah, how I connected to the motion library. So the motion library is found in. You just need an active internet connection, and if you're on Maya 2020.1 or higher, so this is Maya 2022. It's always under Windows, Animation Editors, and then Motion Library. That's how you find it, and then you just sign in. Yeah, the integration is really nice. It's like floating. You can dock it. I think there's a way to dock it or something. And then what's really nice is, right, so I've got my mocap here from the motion library, and I'm going to hit import, and look, it just like pulls it in. Yeah, this is what's so awesome about the motion library with Maya, is it not only does it pull it in to the project, it pulls it in with its own already made character definition. So you don't need to do the character definition for it again. You just need to go, and again, this is our robot character definition, right? We just did. And you add a source. So you would, like, if you had mocap, you would create a new definition, which Motion Library did automatically. And it would show up, and in this case it's just called character, because ours was called character 1. So character 1 was taken. You put character, and it works. Like, that's it. And actually, let's like go download something else. And so this, again, I don't know why, but whereas there's foot sliding in the Cinema 4D version, Maya does not have that. Like, it is amazing. So use Maya. Is if I can, if you have access to it and you're willing to go through the pain of figuring it out, it's worth it because you get the best mocap retargeting results in Maya. I always use Maya for any big project. Anyway, let's hit stop, go back to frame 1. Let's open up the motion library again. And let's say we wanted to, let's find something else. Here, go to my library. Playing air guitar. Let's download this one. Download. Import it. Drops it right into my project, and it drops it in as character 2. If I assign my robot to character 2, now he's playing air guitar. I don't know why it's lagging so much. That's interesting. It's like lagging a ton. Very bizarre. Oh, no, it's not. I don't know why. But you could have a million of these in here. So it's really great. Oh, interesting. Virtual Filmer. Good tip. I didn't know that. I've never had that problem. So I guess, yeah, you can install it directly. Right. Now, I was on 2020 for a long time, and I just installed 2022, and it had an option to install the motion library when I installed Maya. So that's how I got it. But anyway, yeah, so super easy. Motion library plus Maya, it's great. Let's grab another one. Why not? Open up the motion library. What about this dance? No, Samurai Taunt. This is another free asset. I know. And it's just pulling them in right here. Here's all the, this is where they're coming in. And then it pulls it in with its character definition. Just go to character 3. Now it's going to be a samurai. So this is pretty great. I mean, for sure. And at some point, hopefully, you'll be able to host your mocap that you make with a suit in here, and and then like maybe pull it down the same way. I don't know. This integration was really great. I'm getting a ton of lag here. I have no idea why. Let's hit play. Oh, dong. Weird. Yeah, virtual filmer. I wish that they were more differentiated as well, but they aren't for whatever reason. And this popped it into 120 because I guess that's what it was filmed in. But yeah, anyway, so that's Maya. So, unless anyone has any other questions or anything else you want to talk about, we're going to jump into Blender. Look through some of these comments. Cool. Yeah, let's do it. Let's jump into Blender. Blender. Another software that was relatively new to me, which is also kind of intimidating, but less intimidating now. ESD, Blender. Okay, sweet. Let's do it. Blender is great, and I just figured out this massive problem that we've been having. So this is really cool, and I'm like actually crazy excited about it. So this is Blender. I think it's the newest version of Blender. And for Blender, we have a whole plugin, Rokoko plugin, that you can download, and you just like Google Rokoko plugin Blender, and you get it from our GitHub, I believe is the place that you download it from, and then you install it in the add-ons menu. The interesting thing about our Blender plugin, which again, we talked a lot about when it came out, but we haven't talked about a ton. I don't know. It's kind of odd to talk about. But the thing is, just by installing Red Ninja, sweet. Yeah, the AutoRig Pro solution is really great. But also, you should install our plugin for Blender, even if you're not going to use it for retargeting, because our Blender developer is amazing, and somehow he basically, when you install the plugin, it speeds up FBX imports by 10% across the board, animated FBX imports. So if you have a massive animated FBX scene from anywhere, it doesn't have to be mocap, it can be anything, any FBX that's animated. If you have our plugin installed, it speeds up all FBX importing by 10% in Blender. I do not know why, but it's amazing, and it's something that affects the like base code of Blender or something, and yeah, it's really great. So even if you're not using our plugin for retargeting, add it to Blender, and it's fantastic. Okay, so let's go grab that robot, ETH Ethereum 85 base mesh. I got him right here. So this is the FBX of my robot. I always make sure to have automatic bone orientation checked when I'm importing characters or mocap, whatever it is. Otherwise, your bones will look really weird. So, yeah, thanks, Dong. Good to hear. We're happy to be out here and supporting everyone. But yeah, anyway, automatic bone orientation. Make sure it's checked before you import anything. So I'm going to import. Here's my robot. Imports it at the correct scale. Don't know why Maya doesn't. But yeah, here's my robot. Instead of deleting the weapon, I'm actually just going to go down and hide it. Because if I delete it, something goes wrong, and I'm not going to do that. So here is our character. But here's the thing. And this is what I meant about rest poses versus base poses. I think it's called base pose. This is the base pose. But if we go into edit mode, which is 1, this is the rest pose for this character. It is not this. It is, and again, edit mode 1. Oh, I gotta have my guy selected. Edit mode. This is the actual rest pose of our character. And the problem with our retargeter, I don't know if it's true in AutoRig Pro, I forget, but if you go and we bring in the mocap, let's just go through and do this. Let's go get our mocap. In theory, our robot is in a, here's that motion library mocap again. Gonna make sure automatic bone orientation is checked. Import FBX. Import super fast because of our plugin. Let me just expand this guy out. Here it is behind. Let's play it. Right, everything's working. Blah blah blah. Here's our dance mocap. So in theory, transferring this mocap over should be as easy as going to our retargeting panel in our plugin, which you can always find up here under Rokoko, and we have this retargeting area. Selecting the source, in this case it knows that it's the mocap. The target, in this case it knows that it's the robot. Build the bone list. I usually check this over, and in particular I check. Oh, this did it correctly. Good. Okay. Sometimes it confuses. It will double up for both the shoulder and the arm. It'll do the shoulder, so I check those typically. But yeah, this is like right. They're both in T poses. I should be able to just hit retarget animation, and it should just work. So I'll hit retarget animation, and we'll see. And there we go, right? But this doesn't look right. And when we play it back, it's clearly not right. This is very not right. It is like, you can see that the, arms are clipping all over the place. They're just basically, they're reflecting the rest pose being an A pose and not a T pose, which is not what we want, right? This should be a T pose. The robot should be in a T pose right here. So there was a workaround for this that we used to recommend, which was like you had to change the mocap to fit the base pose or the rest pose of your character, which was like a mess. It was just very confusing and it didn't work and it was difficult to do. And I just figured out this morning a new solution to that. So let's start a whole new project. Delete my default cube, send it to default cube heaven. Going to import my robot again. That's you on the dance floor, Renix. Yeah, the smart gloves being used alone, they're useful for finger movement. Yeah, they don't really know where they are in space. They're not a leap. Like the leap solution seems pretty good for that. It's good for fingers, and then it's also really good for like, some of the other glove solutions are really expensive. So, and you can use ours with like an XN suit. So if you're using XNs, you can like use our gloves with the XNs, or you can even use our gloves with like a Vicon or one of the big volumes. But they don't really, they can be used on their own, but they don't know where they are in space. They know where they are in space relative to the elbow, but they're locked. So it looks not right, and so, yeah. Yeah, no, they're not good for clapping, and yeah, exactly. Oh my God, Renix, collisions in the studio. Good God. No, I mean, God, that would be great. Maybe. I don't know if that's on the roadmap for 2.0. It's just really intense. You'd think that there would be a way maybe there's a way that we could script it so like they know to push back, but not being a developer, I don't know how hard that is. And I just know that collisions is like always a problem, right? But yeah, wouldn't that be great? I know there's some ways to do it in Unreal. Matt Workman is working on that. Unity has a couple ways to do it I've seen for VTubers. But yeah, that would be the ideal. Mahmood, can I make root motion animation? Yeah, in here you can. We're going to add some root motion in a second. Nice, Red Ninja. That's great to hear. Yeah, virtual filmer, right. There is, but I think I don't know how that's being done. But that would be great. I'm definitely with you that I want collision too. I mean, that would be like the ideal, right? Because I put my, it's the hands will definitely intersect. Like you can't do clapping really with the gloves. You're going to have to do some editing, which is frustrating. I know. Maybe. That would be great. I'd be the first one to like that. Okay, so yeah, here's our robot. And so, right, our rest pose for our robot. Let's click it. Go into edit mode, up here. 1. This is our rest pose. Okay, but we want this to be our rest pose. So how do we do that? So I found a plugin on a forum called Cats. And it's a free plugin. I'm definitely going to go support because, hey, it's cool that they put their Patreons up here. But they have a bunch of different model things you can like. This model is a bunch of different parts, so you can like fuse them together and stuff. But the thing that I'm interested in is if we go to, open up Cats, I got my character selected, start pose mode. Wait a second. That's not right. Go back. Oh, right. Okay, right. So now we're in pose mode, right? And what we need to do is go and manually put our model into a T-pose, kind of like you would do in Maya or any other program. And I forget what the hotkey is to have it be snapping, but we're going to do this. And again, this is the sort of thing that if you did it without this Cats plugin, these changes would not carry over to your rest pose. But with this plugin, ooh, this is kind of ugly. You can move these arms into a T-pose. Very dirty. Oh no, very dirtily, as you can see. But it shall work. T-pose. What's happening here? This doesn't look right. Yeah, that looks right, right? This one needs to maybe come down a little bit. Oop. Yeah. What's going on here? Okay, and this it looks bent. And then, bring it up. These do not look symmetrical, but you would use snapping, and just snap them to stuff. Anyway, this is in a T-pose. A little weird looking. Yeah, okay, there we go. T-pose. Right? You actually even grab these hands. Thumb. Grab these hands. Move them up as well. Boom. Boom. Okay, we got a T-pose. The problem is, if we went and hit, if we did this in pose mode with our model and we just hit, we search for apply pose as rest pose, it would not work. It just wouldn't work because of the armature modifiers and just for a bunch of different reasons it wouldn't work. But with the Cats plugin, I can just hit apply as rest pose and it's gonna look at my mouse, think. But now, select my robot, go into edit mode, and it stays. It's amazing. I'm not going to adjust the fingers. In theory, I would adjust the fingers, Dong. You're right. But for this, there's no finger animation on this dance, so I don't think it matters. And actually, I kind of like it when the fingers are not like flat, like blades, you know, so I kind of like it that it's like, it looks kind of cooler. But anyway, you know, this is now our rest pose, which is amazing. This is like a huge, I don't know. I struggled with this for a long time, so I'm super psyched about this. Now, if we go and bring in our mocap, FB exit, documents, smart suit, motion library, mid rhythm dance, armature, automatic bone orientation, import FBX, use the Rokoko plugin for retargeting, boom, boom, build bone list, check those arms quickly, all works, retarget, and it's going to, well, it should work. It did, see? Amazing. Like, this is freaking huge. I don't know. This was something that was really bumming out our Blender customers, and so I'm going to do a proper tutorial on this because it is. Oh, come on, I just want to increase the time. Whoa. Zoom. Because this is so great. And actually, it looks really good. There's root motion again on this and everything, and it's all working, and it looks cool. So yeah, that is the new Blender retargeting workflow debuted here, world debut. Yeah, ESD, I'm very happy too. So yeah. Liz Monique, why Rokoko have 500 euro of tax? I don't know. You should email sales, and I'm sure that they would be able to explain what that's about. I don't know. I can't help you with that. That sounds, yeah, that's a bummer. Obviously, I don't know where you are, but yeah, that's no good. Email sales, and they can explain where those costs come from. I'm sure. Sales@rokoko.com, or customer support at rokoko.com, or customer success at rokoko.com. So yeah, that's kind of all the retargeting that I wanted to cover. Anything else? What should we do? I got some more time. I kind of usually slot 2 hours. You know, if there's any other thing else, we can get into anything else. I don't know. Got any questions? We could hop into Unreal. Do some metahuman stuff. We hop back into Maya. There's a way to do, tweaking and editing in Maya, which is interesting to look at. The topic next week, I'm not sure yet what the topic is. It was going to be Unity, but it's not ready yet. Oh, maybe it will be Unity. That could be retargeting in Unity. We're trying to work on an IK solution for Unity that you can overlay for VTubing. So that was going to be it, but then, David Lindbergh, I forget someone was talking about it, but he's one of our awesome team members, and he was helping me out understanding Unity, and we didn't quite get there. So it might not be Unity. I don't know. We'll find out. Might be making a project. It really, maybe we'll do like a poll and see what people are interested in. Sure, Renix. I don't know what a Gyazo GIF is. Conjuring video test. The magic trick capture you did. If you export that to Maya and check out the fingers, it's all screwed up. Let's try it. Let's see. Let's check that out. Okay, this is done. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to do a thing about that. Let's open up Maya again. So I think you're talking about... Oh, Conjuring Demon, right? I imagine. Yeah, Dong. We have a great team, so hopefully they should be getting back to you. ESD, you want to jump into Unity? I don't think we'll do that. And I don't know if it'll be Unity next week. It'll be Unity soon. We know that there is like a dearth of Unity content that we're not making enough in supporting that massive community. So we're actually trying to, I think we're trying to hire a Unity specific person to help us with that, because we don't really do a lot of gaming support, which obviously there's a lot of game developers, but we want to put out more like game making content, especially in Unity. So that'll be coming later in the future. Okay, yeah, that's it. You're saying. Okay, so Conjuring Demon. Let's export this guy. Again, I always use Maya Human IK 30 body skeleton. I'll do it with the face because I bet you were doing it with the face. Although they export as two separate things. Face capture in Maya. Wait, hold on, virtual. We're helping virtual, right? This is in unit. This is in with metahumans? Virtual? It's like a delay. I never know what to do when I ask questions, and then I'm like, right, they haven't seen that part where I asked the question. What happens with the metahuman in Maya? Ooh, I mean, I have no idea. Well, let's go and let's pull it into Maya and see if there's problems. Like, there's issues with the retargeting or with the mocap itself. Shouldn't be issues with the mocap itself. We might need to update those guys. Sample project, export, Human IK, import it. You got weird fingers, bro? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, so I bet that's it looks like these are fine. I bet that's a remapping the Conjuring to a metahuman. I don't know. I haven't pulled the metahumans in to any other program yet. I know you're supposed to be able to, but maybe that's a metahuman problem. Again, it's probably like a rest pose problem on the metahuman. Maybe. I could show you how to fix it though, because you can fix it. You can edit mocap. You can tweak stuff in Maya pretty easily. So we could go through that. So you could fix it. I can show you how to fix it. Red Ninja. Okay, Sam, one quick thing to add is that the AutoRig Pro add-on does have an option to set pose. Okay, wow. God, that's great. Red Ninja. I did not know that. I've been searching for a solution with this rest pose issue for so long. That's great to know. I'll definitely mention that in the future. AutoRig Pro is great. I mean, it's amazing. It's the cornerstone of so many people's workflows. That's awesome. I can't believe I didn't figure that out earlier. Where can we see videos of the cell phone mount? Pablo, I would fabricate the helmet. I generally don't really recommend the chest mount. It's really useful. Some people absolutely love it, and that's why we keep selling it, is because people who get it, they tend to like it a lot. It works. I find that it impedes my motion a little bit, so I prefer to do the helmet thing, and I think that's the best solution. There's probably some videos of me using the chest mount on YouTube. Let me pull up YouTube. And I bet in like some of our older, look, we can get real meta with it. Let's go to our channel. And I think we had this guy named Mike Foster who was making stuff a while ago. Performance capture. Where is that? Let's see. Okay, I might just have to find it manually. Hold on, let me search through these, Because there is an example of the chest mount. The thing about the chest mount is I think you could just use a tripod. You know, when I'm recording, I just use a monopod that I have. This thing, which is great. And I just put this in front of myself because if I'm using the chest mount, I'm usually not moving around a lot. Again, we keep selling it because people do like it. So there are use cases for it where it's really useful. I think maybe in more of a professional setting, it can be really great. This is a cool Hoda monopod that I have a little iPhone mount on. So this is what I use when I'm not moving around a lot. But again, I use the zip tie bicycle helmet, janky helmet. Yeah. I showed how I jury-rigged my helmet in the MetaHuman music video behind the scenes. And then ESD, I've done it by hand in the past, but for VTubing and stuff, it's like I would just put it on your desk. Again, I don't know if that's where you're thinking about it, but let me see if I can find this one with Mike Foster. These are like, we're back in the cuts. Back in the cuts of our videos here. Treadmill hands-on demo with a live. Okay, here we go. I bet this is it. Nope. No, that's just a demo. I thought there was like a version where Mike was showing what he was doing. Okay. Sorry, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but where is it? The Ian Hubert video from way back. Nope. I can't find it. Bother. Dead air. I don't know. Well, we should put up some video of it, obviously, because we should show people what it does. Sorry. Okay, yeah, I might just be coming with it, right. Yeah, virtual filmer, it's not that good for action. I mean, the real problem with the iPhone solution is that the iPhones are heavy. That's the problem. Actually, I think now, like I have an iPhone 10, which was the earliest model that could do it, that had the true depth camera. Now that we're just chatting, I'm going to make myself bigger. But now I think there's some newer models of the iPhones that are like smaller. And so for those, they'll be better. It's really just the iPhones are heavy and they also have to be really far out, right? What you want ideally is to have like a GoPro sitting right here. And that would be the best. Unfortunately, you need the true depth cameras currently for the AR kit. We are working on an Android solution. I don't have any examples, but we got pretty far in development of an Android solution with a 2D camera. There was an external camera that weighed like nothing. That was amazing. But COVID, and then I think the company we're working with, we didn't end up making it, unfortunately, but it's still in development. And that'll be great eventually, because that sat right here. It weighed like 5 ounces or something. It was like a 3D printed helmet. And then, they like, where's the only good, Matt Workman just got some iPhone helmets. iPhone mount helmet. Mocap. What is it called? Free fly or something? Standard deviation. So this is like the best one. This one's amazing. Standard deviations. Products. And they make a iPhone one, but it's like $1,200. So obviously that's no good. So yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's really expensive. The iPhone XS. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, so can you... I can't, Pablo, I can't suggest a good 3D printed solution because I don't think anything 3D printed would hold the iPhone. I haven't seen one. I am using a bicycle helmet with zip-tied selfie stick on it. Like, that's where the creative director of Rokoko is at. You know what I mean? I wish that I had a better solution, but I just don't right now. Be warned, yeah. With the iPro Max, it's too heavy. Yeah, Keith, the stream will totally be available, and you can scrub through it. We covered retargeting and Cinema 4D, Blender, and Maya. Got a lot of love for all of them. But yeah, what's the newest iPhone? What is it? The iPhone small iPhone XS? Is that the tiny one? No. Is that the big one? I don't use iPhone. I'm an Android person. So let the war begin. Okay, hold on. Smallest new iPhone. Yeah. Okay, iPhone 12 mini. 12 mini true depth? I'm sure it does. Yeah. So I would use an iPhone 12 mini. How much does this thing weigh? It's tiny. So that's, geez, I need to get one of these. How much do they cost? That's the thing. It's kind of painful to, obviously. The best solution with the iPhone mocap is that you're already using an iPhone. So you're like, oh, I have mocap, facial mocap. It works with my phone already. Yeah, Android would be great. OnePlus forever. Yeah, I know. We need an Android solution for the mocap, but we got really close. We're gonna get back to it. We'll have it eventually. So, yeah, Pablo, if you want to see how I built it, let's go check that out. It's tough. We also need to go through and clean up our videos on our channel. I know that we have 8 million videos up here, and they're all kind of different. But yeah, so here is me making my... See, I'm laughing about how stupid the solution is, but this is the best way to do it. Zip ties, you got to use zip ties. If you're not using zip ties, that's the problem. You got to use zip ties because zip ties will clamp it, or some other mechanical clamping system. But yeah, I just use a GoPro selfie stick. Yeah, virtual filmer. That's probably the best option. Yeah. Thank you, Pablo. You're right. If it works, it's not stupid. You gotta have, you mean the beanie? Renix? Gotta have your beanie on. It's 80 degrees out, but I gotta have my beanie. Yeah, so this is how, this is how I do it. The selfie sticks, so what I'm using is a GoPro, what is it called? I worked for GoPro for a long time, so that's why I have this thing. But it doesn't really bend for me. I don't know. It depends on what you're doing, right? This works really well. Again, if you're not using the zip ties, that's the weakest point usually. And this thing is just ratcheted down. And it's, and then you got to use a counterweight. Renix. Oh, God. Oh, dong. That's awesome. That's the way that, yeah. So I'm jealous. iPhone 12 mini. Yeah, I used a hard drive as my counterweight. Perfect. And then I was using that hard drive and I was plugging in my USB cord to the back of my helmet, with the helmet next to the computer. Very professional here, as you can see. But yeah, this works really great for me. With an iPhone 12 mini, I bet this would be solid. But again, it's not ideal to be having a really expensive iPhone you know, you want a cheap camera on the end. Oh, Pablo, I think you do win. That is tough wearing your Rokoko Cyber Ninja suit, too. Thank God you can wash them. Anyway, yeah. So that's my solution. That's what I use, again, like as the highest representative of Rokoko. Because $1,200 for one of these mounts is like crazy. I don't know. It just is bananas. As nice as they are. Anyway, cool. So we might call it there. And unless anyone else has some more glove videos, maybe we'll do a glove video next week. That's a good idea, virtual filmer. Yeah. I wonder what would you want to see from a glove video? Glove solo? Like we do one on using glove data with like a Mixamo animation. Because I've seen you can do things like where you'll like look at the animation and you'll do your finger movements and then you'll just retarget those. For VTubing, virtual filmmaker, you mean? The gloves? Oh, that's cool, Renix. Gloves. Okay, we'll do a glove one next week. If it's possible. Oh, interesting. I don't have Steam VR, so that could be tough. But we could do another type of mocap. You know, maybe I'll do it with... Okay, there's some webcam based. Oh God, I gotta check the YouTube comments. VTubing with the gloves. Yeah, I mean, you right. What you want to do is just throw the gloves on, right, and then like be here and you're doing your VTubing. I can think about. Yeah. I wonder what the best solution to that is. The best solution, honestly, is... I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Rig a spider... Oh, cool, ESD, like a little... Yeah. I want to do, actually, a puppet show with the gloves. I think it would be really cool. You could, like, do that. I think that would be, like... You could have, like, a legit... thing. You know, I'd love to do a Code Miko interview. She's obviously awesome, but she uses Xsense. I don't know if we'd have that much to talk about. I guess we could talk about VTubing. But I don't even know, actually. I'm sure she's like under contract with them because they had she did a big thing with them recently. You could probably show. The, coalescence. So when you're using the gloves alone, and you want to do you don't need to do anything if you're using them with the suit. If you're using them with the suit, you just put them at your sides, right? If you're using them alone and you want to orient them in space, you want to do it like this. Basically, you just want them pointing at each other. And I think you want them pressing. It's called the prayer pose, is what we call it. So you want to do it like this. Coalescence. Unlock the wrist. Right, well, you can... Oh, is it not? Ooh. I can show you that right now. Maybe we need to make a new... This is good. I'm happy. This is kind of like why we're doing these a little bit. Is to get your guys' feedback. Hold on one second. Let me get a battery for the gloves. I'm still here. Okay. Let's go through some gloves. 2-port USB battery. Oh no, I can't do it. I can't show you. Because, oh well, okay, I can try it, but normally I would use an offline router, right, for this. So I'll have to, let's do it. Why not? We got time. It might not work very well, but at least I can show you how to do this. So let's pair up these gloves, change the, so yeah, I don't know, again, we don't talk about this enough probably, but it's really worth it to get an offline router to use for your mocap. You need one, I think. You know, you don't technically need one, but if you're spending the money on the suit or the gloves, you can get a cheap used router, and it makes all the difference. Just having it in the same room, you know, as where you're using it. So I'm going to go on the same Wi-Fi network that I'm using to stream, and I'll make a new video, virtual. But we can, let's look at it right here. Apply settings. Excuse me. They might be kind of laggy. Okay, glove 1. Glove 2. Again, because if I'm doing VTubing, yeah, of course. This is why we're doing this. Yeah, ESD. You definitely got a cheap router. But if you're doing VTubing, like what I recommend doing is essentially you have you need 2 computers. You need a computer connected to the internet with like a Camlink 4K, and then you have your main computer that's offline that is handling like Unreal and everything, and then you're porting your video out to the computer that's online. And like that's the setup for VTubing that you really need to do, because you need an offline, especially for VTubing. Like you cannot, there's not enough bandwidth to be streaming online and you know, and doing your suit, which is all, again, it's all running off Wi-Fi, right? So you need to do the 2 computer solution. Exactly. Yeah. You have the laptop, and you just get a cheap laptop. It doesn't need to do anything except connect to the internet and run, you know, OBS. Okay, this will be the last thing that we do, just to show you how to unlock that developer mode, to unlock the wrists. But it's not going to be, it just isn't, it's not like full motion. It's like partial motion. You'll see what I mean in a second. So here I've got my battery, right? No suit. Yep, that's it, virtual filmer. But I think that we have done a poor job of telling people where that is. Come on, calibrate, gloves. What's going on? So this guy is not picking up right now. Sometimes you just need to click them in and click them out. Yeah, mini windows, exactly. I mean, that's it. If you're doing VTubing, it's like, it's a whole nother game, right? You got to be prepared to get a little deeper on it. There we go. Oh, look, they actually super fast. I wonder if I can, interesting. Okay, so here's our gloves, right? I'm going to add my actor profile. Am I blocking everything? No, looks okay. Excuse me. Drag my gloves up into my fellow. Wrist is locked, right? But if you don't want your wrist to be locked, you hold down Control and you hit Shift. What is it? Oh God, I'm gonna have to look it up. Is it you hold down, you have to click in the thing. Huh, it's not letting me do it. I think we gotta glove test. It should be oh, you know what? Maybe it's this keyboard is really weird. Try it on my main keyboard. Uh-oh, language switching. I'm pretty sure it's Control Shift Shift. Yeah. Left Control. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's left Control and spam the Shift button, I guess. And then anyway, yeah, it's enable wrist lock, execute, and so now like it's locked at the elbows. So this is like not what you want for VTubing, but it's a little bit closer maybe. And then the calibration pose would be like this. Oh no, so sorry, it would be, you copy the mannequin, right? Well, oh, now I'm getting that lag. And like you can kind of be in space. Sorry, my mic is in the way. Okay. So yeah, I mean that's about as good as it gets, I guess. I could do it like this. Yeah. So like this is semi in space, but this is all being based off the accelerometers. So it's not actually tracking in space. Right. And the elbows are always close to each other. So it's like not, obviously this is not ideal. And you know, if I'm being frank, probably the best solution if you want something like this is like, I'd check out Leap. Maybe. You know, we are working on this, but we're not releasing anything anytime soon. So I'll check out though, maybe there's a way to combine some 2D webcam stuff with the gloves, because the great thing about the gloves is you don't have occlusion problems. Like with Leap, if you get out of the way of the sensor, it's not going to pick it up anymore, right? With the gloves, it's not. So that's the good thing about the gloves. And the solution is to buy the suit, right? It totally works in the suit. That's interesting, V2 Virtual Filmer. That would probably be like a Studio 2.0 thing. I don't think we're going to be able to get to that anytime soon. Steam VR fixes it. Interesting. Like right, if you put a Steam tracker on your wrist, you mean? Because that would work. But you need Steam VR. So yeah, that would work, right? You'd put a Steam Valve tracker on each wrist, and then you'd use the fingers for the mocap, and you use the Valve tracker for the absolute position of the hands. And then you have like a reverse IK system for the arms, and you'd be able to like wave your arms around. 2.0 is coming along great. That's the news there, and I think it's scheduled for the fall. So lots of exciting stuff with Studio 2.0, and yeah. Okay, so we're gonna kind of call it there. This was great. Thanks everyone for virtual Renix, Dong, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe we'll do more glove stuff next week. I'll work on maybe having a solution for that sort of thing. And I bet we'll do a poll actually for next week maybe as well. But I'll keep that in my mind, and I'll check the YouTube comments for all those comments. And yeah, everyone, thanks so much. This was awesome. Good to hang out. Hopefully this was helpful. And see you, Keith. And yeah, see you guys. Much love. Stay safe. Stay cool, especially down in Ecuador. Oh, that sounds intense. And or Ireland, too much humidity. Okay. See you guys. Bye-bye. Bye from... Oh, no, she's sleeping. I'm not going to get her. Okay. See you guys. Bye-bye.